My friends, today I'm heated. I'm heated because I realize through every single video that I make that we deserve all the bad things that happen to us. That's right, the plague, COVID-19, 9/11, 7/11, we deserve it all. Why? Because of things like this. Hey guys, my name's PigCake, world famous virgin magician, and today we're going to talk about psychics, specifically this guy over here, this psychic. Now, I'm constantly astonished as to how little effort it takes to wow a crowd. As magicians, we have to go through a lot of effort, a lot of practice in order to get to where we're at. For me, it's taken 22 years to perfect the art and craft of virginity and not being able to see women naked. And that's time that's wasted. I could have spent that time, I don't know, doing more exciting stuff like skydiving or the dishes, especially when people could get away with doing the things that you're gonna see today. Now, this individual, his name is Michael Shane. Of course, Michael spelled with a Y, because of course it is. And this individual happens to have found a niche within the psychic community in the art of apportation. In my studies of psychics, you find these trends being very common. For example, the Sai Baba in India would make little chains and rings appear for boys he wanted to fondle. Well, here it's different because Michael Shane is using his powers to impress older ladies, which, by the way, old people don't deserve any love, especially with the way that they drive, merging without making signals, turning on lanes where they're not supposed to, not abiding by the rules of the road. You should be ashamed of yourself if you ever defended an old person driving. But alas, this is what entertains them, my friends. This man is known for producing solid gold and silver coins and rings and watches from his taped mouth. Crazy, right? Crazy. They put tape on his mouth, so there's no way that he could get anything inside of it. They put him inside of this weird velvet cabaret, so obviously nothing could get snuck in, nothing could get snuck out. Honestly, if he's trying to look like a psychic, he's not succeeding. This looks like a shitty magic show. And based on this first piece of footage that I saw, I didn't know how he was sneaking the stuff in his mouth. I was wondering, obviously, at some point he had to have snuck stuff in his mouth and then put the tape back on. But then there's always a cut. Every single time he's done this, there's always some sort of a cut. And then I happened to watch a video where he's doing billet reading. Billet reading. If you're not someone that's familiar with billet reading, it's an ancient mentalism, which is a form of magic trick technique where you have people write down stuff on billets and then you pretend to read it back to them. So they write it down, they fold up the little billet, they put it in a bowl, right? And then you pick it up, you hold it against your forehead, or maybe you're blindfolded, and you start pretending to pick up impressions from the paper. The secret is that you have to sneak a look at the paper. There's a number of ways of doing this. It's an art in and of itself. But as you can see from this technique, it's really not an art to Michael because he's sitting down in front of an audience. Obviously, he could peek from underneath his fucking blindfold, and he's just looking at the open sheets in the box. He's not even hiding this. But that's a different thing entirely. It just lets you know that this guy's really full of his own shit. And he's not even going through the effort of putting all the time and dedication necessary to make it look good to an audience. He just does the bare minimum, and he gets away with it because the audience is still eating it up. But then there's the gem bit. If you look at this performance, it's an hour and 55-minute video of him sitting down and essentially just talking shit to an audience. At some point, he does the billet reading, and then at some point, he also does the apportation of these silver coins. So he makes a mention for people to look inside of his mouth, then they tape it. There's some music playing, there's some incantations taking place, and you see that he's there behind a curtain for a long time. A suspicious amount of time, as a matter of fact. Enough time maybe for someone to rip the tape, grab a handful of coins, shove it in his mouth, and re-put the tape. I thought there was going to be some art to this particular production of coins. I thought that maybe I was going to learn something. Oh, learn a new technique. Maybe he puts it in his mouth in a certain way, right? I could learn something from how he directs the audience's attention. No, he just literally does it while nobody's looking at him. Then, of course, he comes out and he makes the whole production of having someone hold on to his sides while he barfs out all these coins onto this fucking table. And if you watch other videos, he has the balls to talk about each coin as if it's a surprise to him. Oh, look at this one. This one's an interesting coin. You know what you put in your mouth, Michael. Now, it may seem to the untrained ear and eye that I'm upset at Michael. No, I'm not upset at Michael. I'm upset at his audience. I'm upset at the people that believe this. That's who I'm upset at. Michael's just taking advantage of a market that exists. That's it. Yes, he's doing it with shitty magic and mentalism methods. Yes, he's refusing to practice even a little bit and does it with the bare amount of effort. But you know what? He's still doing it. and people are flocking to see him. You can see he has a pretty substantial crowd here in this performance from Australia. People watch him, people believe in him, and people obviously pay to see this sort of stuff. That's who I blame. I blame the audience. Same thing whenever I look at these TikTok psychics and I see them doing these BS methods and you wonder why? Why? Oh, because people believe it. You look at all the comments and it's a bunch of attractive girls that have fucking crystals duct tape to their steering wheel. And of course it's gonna act like shrapnel the moment the airbag goes off, bursting through their retina because they thought the crystal was going to protect them. Really, it ended up being the thing that puts them under. So the audience is the one to blame. It's never the person. The person's just taking advantage of an existing market. Just like the market for the PigCake Magic Academy. $5 a month, you get access to over 1,000 videos. There, I upload 5 times a week. $5, that's what, a White Claw? That's what, a Starbucks coffee? One of those refreshers with coconut milk and strawberry acai. You could give one of those up to get access to over 1,000 videos and counting. It's not like I've stopped uploading. It's not like I've uploaded this massive library of content to the PigCake Card Academy where you learn card stuff, coin stuff. The Mentalism Academy is a little bit more expensive. It's $10 a month, but that's 2 acai strawberry refreshers from Starbucks a month that you're willing to pay in order to get access to a wealth of knowledge. So go ahead and do it. We have a very important lesson to be learned here, my friends, and it is please use common sense. Use common sense. I know sometimes you want to think that there's something else, there's something beyond, but just use common sense, right? If somebody's purporting to make these things appear from his mouth, it's Occam's razor. What's the simplest solution? Oh, he's probably shoving it in there before the show starts or during the show behind a fucking curtain. That's the likely solution, not the fact that somehow these coins are being manifested inside of this fuck's mouth. That's not the way things work. Oh my goodness, he was telling me things that there's no way that he can know, like my mom's birthday, and he was telling me names of people that I'm related to. Oh, that's interesting. Did you write these down at any point? Yeah, I did write them down. How did you know? Well, you don't think maybe that he took a little peek with his fucking eyes at the thing that you wrote down? You don't think that that's a possibility? Well, now that you mention it, shut up. Shut up. And that's the worst part, my friends. You put one of these down and another one comes up in its place. They're like cockroaches. You spend an entire raid can on a cockroach, especially here in the 305, where God knows what fucking sups these cockroaches are taking. But you spray an entire can and that motherfucker just scurries away. Same thing with these psychics. There's always going to be an audience. There's always going to be a market. And you know what? Maybe I'm in the wrong business. Maybe I should consider my line of business and jump. I know some magic. I know some psychic tricks. Maybe I could start a religion of my own. Maybe I could bring them along to the Church of Piggy and use them for their wealth. Oh boy, man, I don't know how to do this. Let's see what I could mention here at the tail end of the video. Encre Noir. Encre Noir. This is a brand new cologne that I bought. Smells like death. This is what all the reviewers say. Smells like death. And I tend to agree. It does smell a little bit foresty. Whew, smells like roses. Smells like woods. Smells like the wet woods, right? So you smell dark and mysterious when you wear this, which is a little bit odd considering me. I wore this wearing pink pants, shoes with pink laces, and a shirt that says short but my dick tall. So really, is there a really mysterious man wearing this, or is it just a short man trying to overcompensate for the fact that he's a short man?
I see you again, when I see you again. When I see you again, 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 when I see you again.